Hey out there, carnivore friends. It's me, your carnivore curmudgeon Bradford, answering the age-old question, is he a real carnivore? Yes. Is he an actual curmudgeon? No. Well, not mostly. And it is the 15th of March, 2023, which means that yesterday I concluded week 2 of my carnivore march, and I thought I would share with you what I ate all week, the second week of March. Started off my week on a Wednesday morning with some leftover steak and a hard-boiled egg. And you can see I really spoiled myself there at my desk with some very fancy dinnerware. Then that evening, I made up for it with a nice bowl of some leftover chuck roast, some eggs, and a leftover half of a steak. I know, leftover steak, what was I thinking? Now, Thursday I had the day off from work, and so I started my day with some beautiful venison backstrap, some butter, and a couple of fried eggs. And I spent the day experimenting in the kitchen making some carnivore jambalaya, which turned out, in my opinion, outstanding. Jambalaya, if you don't know, is a rice-based dish, and so it took some time to figure out how to substitute the rice with a meat-based product. Other than that, it's really a traditional jambalaya. It had sausage, shrimp, and some beautiful chicken thighs. But the spices that I used in the substitute for rice, which was a ground chicken and pork rind based dish, really is what gave it sort of that essence of a jambalaya flavor. If you haven't seen the video that I did on this, please check it out. It is a little bit involved. It's not a quick and easy evening dish, but if you like jambalaya and you miss jambalaya because you don't eat rice anymore like me, then it may be worth your consideration. Really came out good. And back to work on Friday, March the 10th, and just something simple, a little leftover steak again. I had made several steaks, and so I had them prepped to use a few times. And that with a couple of hard-boiled eggs tided me over until that night when I made a really beautiful ribeye steak that I got on sale, and it was about 1.5 pounds. So my wife and I split this steak. And it was, I don't know why it was marked down, because it was really a tasty steak. And paired with a few eggs, capped off a really good day. Now Saturday I had to work, and it was a long work day. By the time I got home late in the afternoon, all I wanted was a little snack and a nap. So that's what I had. I had some ham and some cheese with some mustard, and that was it. But that's all I needed until that night when I made a couple of burgers and some leftover chuck roast. And like all great inventions, I learned something. There's bacon under that there cheese. I found out that if I melt my cheese on top of the bacon when I make a bacon cheeseburger, then my bacon doesn't fall off my cheeseburger when I go to cut it or with a fork or with a knife. And I'm not chasing my bacon all around my plate. It's amazing sometimes how long it takes us to learn something so simple. But hey, if you're not learning, you're not living. And speaking of learning, I learned that if you take leftover carnivore jambalaya, add a little bit of tomatoes and some green onions, you have keto jambalaya. This was really just as good as the other one, but made a better picture. And while I was experimenting that day, using the same mixture that I used for the rice substitute, I made some carnivore hush puppies. I'm going to be making a video about that in the near future, but I taste tested it so much that I really didn't want a meal that night. So fast forward to Monday morning, and I had some breakfast chili. It was really just chili that I made the day before, but I had it for breakfast, so I guess that makes it breakfast chili. But I did score. Sometimes being on a carnivore diet is like a really awesome treasure hunt. You never know what you're going to find. And I found a bunch of hog jowl packages on sale. Now, if you don't know what hog jowls are, they're exactly what they sound like. They come from the bottom part of the face of a hog. The texture is very much like bacon. The fatty content is more than bacon. So that night, guess what I had? Yep, hog jowls with my steak and some butter and some eggs. And it was really good, and I think I may make a video about hog jowls in the near future as well. Now the next morning I had some ham slices with some cheese and eggs, real standard for me for the morning. I'm not especially hungry in the morning most times, so this is just an easy go-to for me. But that evening I had a big bowl of venison and beef chili with clearly a mound of cheddar cheese. Been trying to slow down a little on the dairy, but this really screamed for cheese, and it really hit the spot. I made this chili so I would have it throughout the week when I didn't feel like cooking something else, which for me is key to staying on track. It's just too easy if I don't have something already prepared, if I don't feel like cooking that evening, to say, well, I'm just going to get into this fill in the blank. And that is it for this week 2 of the month of March 2023. And I hope I gave you some ideas. Love to hear your comments, and hope to see you next week. Thanks for watching.